What is going on, everybody? So today we have a video about associations, and let's talk about this painful subject, associations and condos. You see what happens, right? When you buy a condo or you buy something as a townhouse or something that's not like individually standing, there is an association that needs to be set up for expenses and decisions they need to be made, right? There is trustees there, and usually older people buy in these associations. So there is really a lot of details and juicy details about associations in the US. This is a great example of this. Take a look.
It's a simple story of a man with some simple needs.
Sit down and have his little chips and a soda if he wants and say hello to some people.
Tanya's talking about her neighbor, Ted,
I'll be 92 in September.
and the bench outside his door.
I have a place I like.
So these guys are complaining about the bench, right?
From his HOA, the Bethany Villa Association, saying simply, remove your bench from the common area
Listen to
or
this.
it will be removed.
Right. So he has a bench, and they're giving him a notice to take the bench out.
And eat his little snacks and say hello to people and pet puppies.
That lady is so much
Yeah,
such a supporter.
let
you
that
know?
man have his f***ing bench.
That's right.
He deserves to eat snacks and pet puppies.
A Valley homeowner says her HOA wants to fine her because
That's another story here. Check it out.
grass.
A homeowners association told one
It's such a never a boring day with associations. I mean, as realtors here in Boston, we see it as well, you know. Check this out.
Letters from the HOA telling me to stop feeding the ducks.
I mean,
When you receive a violation for a tree not being tree-shaped.
a tree not being tree-shaped, right? Like what? People have nothing to do. People need more things to do in their lives, you know. They need more things to do. Here in Boston, this is not so popular. I mean, we have a lot of condos and townhouses, but like it's not like down in Florida, right? That you have an HOA everywhere you go. But the thing is that HOAs are unregulated, right? So what's going on there is they can evict you. They can, you know, give you huge fines. You have to pay lawyers' fees. You gotta do all these things, and they're unregulated. The bank cannot just come and take your home and then charge you interest if you don't make one payment, right? Do they have the right to do so? Sure. But there is a lot of regulation around banks and creditors. But associations are the big bully. They can do whatever they want and there is no regulation. And this is a big issue, right? A lot of states in the US live in an association and then they feel suffocated. And not only that, right? Let's say that you make things even. Let's say that you go and pay and then you end up like, you know, at a zero balance. If let's say something happened to you and then there is attorney's fees that they've been, you know, hiring attorneys, you have to pay the attorney's fees, not only the late fees. So if the association is made like even, right? And then you don't owe them anything, you still on top of that have to come up with attorney's fees and all this other craziness that they add on top of. Take a look here. It's a crazy thing. It's like a big bully and nobody talks about, but everybody's really bothered. And if you guys live in a bad association, you guys know about it. By the way, a good association can turn into a bad association real quick by some trustees changing, right? So check this out.
They're enforced through fines, and HOAs can be pretty unforgiving about handing them out.
Right.
Take a close look at Deborah Blue's Wake County home. The color of her shutters had her facing steep fines with her Homeowners Association.
They decided to fine me $25.
So $25 a day for putting the wrong shutters, and then she takes the shutters off, and then she gets fined because she didn't have any shutters. Like people have nothing to do in their day, man. That's the issue. Older people, they have nothing to do, so they're just being stingy with their neighbors.
Colour of her shutters, took them down, and then got in trouble for the absence of shutters. It's one of those situations where no matter what you do, you lose.
3 years after buying this property, the Henrys received a letter from their Homeowners Association
saying that they were doing an audit, and they noticed that I had a shed in my backyard and it wasn't approved by my.
Listen to this, okay? So they found out he has a shed in his backyard, and then they're like, check this out.
The property, and none of his neighbors have ever complained. Since you
The shed was not visible, right?
no one came knocking at the Henrys' front door, they asked their Homeowners Association.
Right. How did you find out about the shed?
That's when they were told over the phone that Google Maps was used.
Google Maps was used to find the shed in the backyard. People have nothing to do with their day in their life. They go on Google Maps just to find you, right? These are the biggest bullies, and that's the biggest issue. It's a growing issue in the US about bad, unregulated associations with people in power thinking they can do whatever they want, and you end up in a bad association. This is a big issue, right? And we deal with them. We need papers from them as real estate agents, as realtors. We need papers. We need, you know, verifications. A very last example, we needed just a statement that every system is in good working order, and the trustees wouldn't provide it. They say it's an offset offsite management, an association that doesn't exist. It is a big issue that not only affects the people living there, but people that they try to buy in. And then here is the crazy part, right? Listen to this. You can request to find the rules and regulations and all these things that they have decided in minutes and meetings. They're not obliged to give them to you up until you buy in to show everything, right? So you don't even know how bad the association is up until you buy something in there, right? It's mind-blowing. And again, there is absolutely no regulation. It's something that you're gonna see the next few years people are gonna stand up against, right? By the way, too, there was another association like about speeding. They put cameras and then they were charging people $1,000 a day. If you go over 15 miles an hour, you get $1,000 ticket, right? That's not a ticket that is given to you by the police. That's not a ticket that's given to you by traffic control. That's a ticket that's given to you by an association. It's madness, right? I want to show you one more thing here.
No, you've got to get away from me!
That's Val Vista Lakes Board Director Todd McCoy following a private board meeting tonight in Gilbert. After being shoved, we reiterated to McCoy that the community was very upset, to which he replied,
I don't care about them right now.
Crazy. Like when somebody confronts you, you know, you just think you can do whatever you want. All right, check this lady out. Like that's another example here about the trash, right?
Just how quickly things snowballed.
Look at this.
After a new management company took over her HOA.
So a management company, right? So here's the thing, like associations and management companies go hand in hand. And these big investors or these big buyers like Grant Cardone, they put a new management company in place, or they put a management company in place to run the association. There is good management companies, very few, and then there is bad management companies. Here is an example where the management company changed and then things got out of control real fast. Check it out.
First, the HOA told her trash cans couldn't be visible from the street.
You have to turn your head so far over
Leave that
like this
old lady alone, man.
for the seconds
Look at
you are
that.
passing my house.
Like, I want you guys to realize
It's
something.
very hard to get them in and out.
Then the problem was her hose.
It was, all wrapped.
Imagine being 50, 60, 70, 80 years old, right? And then you have a last home to live in, you downsized, you have a good stash of cash. People won't leave you alone. Personally, this would drive me nuts. You wanna be left alone by yourself, like be happy, you lived a good life, right? And these people keep bothering you about a freaking hose. Like for God's sake, leave these old people alone, please.
So it really didn't look bad.
Then it was her lawn art.
Can't have those.
Then they wanted her to power wash her house and sweep up her driveway. But when she didn't get it done fast enough, she got late fees on top of late fees. $25 a day for each infraction.
These are things that are so incidental, they're not important. They're asinine.
Exactly.
And you're
Nobody
charging me
cares.
$17,000.
17 grand she got fined, $17,000 for not abiding by the rules of the association to have a little fake flower and the trash cans on the side. Like, please guys, do something about it. I don't know, like if I will sign a petition with you, but these are bullies. And then they go after the older people that that have nothing to do. Now the crazy part is that older people go after older people. So because the association is run by older, people that they have nothing to do, they go after the other older people that they don't play bingo every Wednesday. I'm telling you, this is a big madness. It's funny, but it's sad. All right, I'll show you one last example here.
But this was the HOA, and I had no idea that an HOA could
All right,
foreclose
check
if
this
you
out.
came and knocked on my door.
Here is the last part now. Now here is how an association can foreclose on you in the worst possible way. Now please pay attention to this, okay? Check this out.
Served me with a foreclosure notice, and of course, I freaked out.
Maisha had fallen behind on a lot of her bills, but she said she'd work something out with the mortgage company.
But this was the HOA, and I had no idea.
So the mortgage company was fine. She was making payments, had an agent. Check this out. That's another example here of.
I paid him the $2,700, and when I walked out, I said, "This is all I owe, right?"
So this lady paid them. That's all she owns. She's done. More letters. 6,000. She owns on top of that. Post-judgment legal fees, lawyer fees, 18% interest. This is credit card interest. This is criminal,
Somehow got behind on her dues. But in 2018, she received.
Look at this. So 2 years after she made them even, she paid everything she owed to the association. Look at this. She receives an eviction notice, and then the association goes behind her back and she buys how much you think she bought her home for and evicted her, although she made everybody even. Look at this.
You lose your home. That's hard.
But sadness turned to anger when she realized the HOA had purchased her home through foreclosure for $3.24.
They bought her home at a foreclosure auction at $3.24. Tell her to get out. She made them even. She paid them. And now because she didn't pay the legal fees, right? They didn't even try to negotiate with her. They just served her with a fake eviction notice and bought her home for $3.24. I don't know about you guys, but if this happened to me, I would definitely like gun up and go and find whoever. I'm not gonna say it because we're on YouTube. But anyway, I'm telling you, this is a big issue, right? It's a big issue, and it's honestly so unregulated and so badly and poorly run and managed. Something has to be done, and there has to be a standard that you cannot fall below, right? We deal with these people every day. We deal with these associations every day as realtors, and I'm telling you, it's the worst. A good association can make a whole difference, but again, you're 1 or 2 or 3 votes away from trustees, from this getting mismanaged, people stealing money from the reserves, all this madness. I mean, I'm telling you, that was a new video here. If you guys have an option to buy a single family home, and you can, go for it, because dealing with these people sometimes is hard. If not, try to make sure you ask the neighbors, how's the association, how are they managing the funds, you know, is there any trustees that we have to pay attention to before you buy into an association, because honestly, that's the worst thing that can ever happen to you, buying into something and then, you know, feeling that you have to sell just because of the association, not because of the complex you live in, not because of your neighbors, but you have to sell just because the association is so poorly and badly mismanaged. I love you all, hope you got some value out of this, and I catch you guys soon.